accepted that Canada isn't going to lead any sort of a stabilization mission in Haiti. It's something that the Americans had been pushing for very publicly. They've been doing it very gently, leading up to a previous meeting between Antony Blinken heading up to Canada last year. It had been suggested by senior U.S. officials that, hey, you know what, we need a country that could lead this UN mission in Haiti. Canada would make a great leader of this country. So it's been very, very polite in public, but we do know that behind the scenes, the Americans had been pushing, in conversations that I've had and a number of my colleagues have had with sources, the Americans had been pushing Canada to do more and take a leadership role in this. However, Canada had made the case very publicly and privately that Canada wasn't in a position to do that. And the big question is, it's not necessarily when you go in, it's how you get out. That's such the massive challenge that governments and leaders who make decisions about these kinds of missions, that is something that they always have to keep in mind. It's going in is one thing, but getting out is another.
Katie, thank you. The CBC's Katie Simpson live in Washington. Let's bring back Travis Danraj, who is at that gala dinner. Just tell us about the atmosphere there, Travis.
Yeah, so Andrew, I'll tell you what's happening right now on your screen. You can see that is Great Big Sea singer Alan Doyle, who is performing solo right now, and he's performing a song called Dream of Home, and then there will be the dinner service. I just want to pick up on what Katie was talking about, though, in terms of, you know, the amount of sugar. I think it was her colleague, our colleague, Kate's colleague in Washington, Alex Panetta, who said there was a lot of sugar today, not so much spice. Because it was one of those speeches where, you know, Joe Biden talked about the strength of the relationship, but those hard discussions were likely, as Katie said, going on behind the scenes, because these trips do take some time to organize, and there was a lot of those granular details that, you know, bureaucrats, ministers, their counterparts likely got into behind the scenes. However, strategically, I think that there was probably an agreement that it's in the best interest of the President of the United States and the Prime Minister to have this kind of united front. As I mentioned, you know, I was talking to Pierre Poilievre. While he said, you know, he doesn't think that this meeting really delivered, there wasn't really a ton of direct criticism on a whole host of issues. I mean, he had a couple of gripes, but he, you know, said that, you know, America is a great ally of this country, and that was on full display. So this gala right now, the dinner is going to take place, and then we're going to see speeches a little bit later on in the evening from a toast from the President and the Prime Minister as well. But right now, the Alan Doyle is singing, and Andrew, I told you yesterday about the menu. I can give you a little sneak peek of the menu once again. Let me scroll to it here. Okay, so to begin, cedar salt and seaweed crusted rare seared East Coast yellowfin tuna, white bean hummus, cucumber, pickled radish and bitter greens, flaxseed, cracker, and lemon parsley emulsion. That's for the salad. And then there will be Alberta beef braised short rib, butternut squash puree, and Yukon gold potato, wildflower honey roasted carrots and fine green beans. And then there's a Cabernet Sauvignon jus, and a wild blueberry and Quebec maple mousse cake, screech rum, caramel and sweetgrass meringue, and fresh berries. So a lot of different regions in the country represented in this menu. And I will say as well that this is from the chef of the National Art Center who has put this menu together, but it sounds absolutely delicious, and those folks inside are going to be able to eat in a very secure environment very soon.
Yeah, and we're just watching the Prime Minister and the President shake hands with Alan Doyle following that song. And so we expect now that I think the Prime Minister is getting up on the stage and is